Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Laura Lee. I am a certified personal trainer, a certified nutrition coach, and I currently help women and men find the joy in fitness through my online coaching business. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my own personal fitness journey story that started about 10 years ago. That's really where it all began. And I feel really compelled to share my fitness journey because unfortunately, a lot of the things I experienced are things that so many other men and women experience. So I'm hoping that by sharing my story, I can help just one person feel like they're less alone or feel less afraid to speak out and ask for help. With that being said, I am going to give some trigger warnings for this video. So in this video, I talk about disordered eating, I talk about over-exercising, I talk about weight loss, about counting calories, I talk about weight gain, and I talk about also some mental health topics, so anxiety, depression, toxic and abusive relationships. I'm also going to put a trigger warning before I mention each of these topics in the video, and I'm gonna put some timestamps in the video so that you can skip through those parts if they're not conducive to your journey. And lastly, I just want to say that if this video is too much for you, if it is too triggering for you or not going to be positive in your own personal journey, then please feel free to skip this video. Take care of your mental health. My fitness journey begins in 2012. So I was a freshman in college at that time, and I had a really hard time in college. I went to a huge university. I'm also very shy, introverted. I didn't really like going to parties. That wasn't really my thing. I wasn't in a sorority, so I didn't have that like instant group of friends. I also had really low self-confidence, low self-esteem, not only about my physical appearance, but just about my abilities. So that really took a toll on me. But by the fall semester, sort of like halfway through, I met this other girl. And it turned out we were in a lot of other classes together, and so we just naturally ended up spending a lot of time together. I was super grateful to have a friend. Now this is where I'll put my first trigger warning. So in this section of the video, I'm going to be talking about emotionally abusive, manipulative relationships, friendship, and gaslighting. So we quickly become really good friends, probably best friends. We hang out together all the time, you know, weekdays, weekends, we do our homework together, pretty much spending all day, every day together. And it quickly became an abusive and manipulative friendship. So not only did this person not want me to be friends with other people, they also started to not be very kind to me. She really tore me down about my appearance and about just like the general way that I lived. By the end of our freshman year, we had signed a lease to live together in a dorm for our sophomore year. My parents were completely against the idea. They tried to talk me out of it, and I just went along with it, even though I knew in the back of my head probably wasn't going to be a great idea. So I moved back home the summer after my freshman year, moved out of the dorms just until sophomore year began again. And this is when things started to take a turn for the worse. So another trigger warning here, I'm going to be talking about anxiety, depression, and my eating disorder. That summer, I was experiencing a lot of anxiety. I was really scared to go back to college. I think a big part of the reason why I was scared is because I knew that living with this person was not going to be good for my mental health. I didn't want to go back to an environment where I was just being berated all day long. I felt like I couldn't get out of the situation I was in. I felt really helpless. I felt really out of control with my life. What I did have control over was what I ate and how much I exercised. I developed an extremely unhealthy relationship with exercise and with food. So I started over-exercising a lot. I would run or walk on the treadmill for a really long time. I would walk on an incline. I would do treadmill sprints because I heard those were all the rage. High-intensity interval training was also huge at that time. So I would do circuit after circuit after circuit of HIIT to the point past where I was tired and fatigued. I would push myself even more. I felt like it was something just for me and something that I was 100% in control over. So it started out as the over-exercising and then slowly morphed into food. So I started really clean eating, and I say that in quotations because I just took it way too far. I thought those things were making me happy at the time. They were like the things I was clinging to. And now what I know today is I was using these things as a coping mechanism for my anxiety. This disordered eating, this restriction, this over-exercising went on the whole entire summer, and it continued into the fall. As you can imagine, when I moved in with my toxic roommate, the situation got much worse, and I was in a really bad place mentally. I was experiencing anxiety on a daily basis and multiple times a day. I was having panic attacks, but I didn't ask for help. I didn't know how. I didn't want anyone to see me struggling. I felt like I had to have this facade of me being this perfect A student. It was almost like my dirty little secret. I started experiencing a lot of health problems. I lost my period. It was extremely cold all of the time. I had an iron deficiency. So at this point, I still hadn't asked for help. I was pretending like everything was fine, but my parents could see that I was slowly deteriorating and they were concerned for me. And so I did get medical and professional help. Now, here's what I'll say. I am grateful that I did get medical professional help. I did gain the weight back, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. I did get my period back, but I still never addressed the root cause, which was my anxiety. I did not go to therapy. I was really embarrassed. I was really ashamed. Now, sadly, with this toxic friendship and roommate situation, this person could see that I was really vulnerable and took advantage of that. I had literally no one but her. So when it came time to make a decision of say yes or no to her, I always said yes to her. I was always at her beck and call. I, in this really sick way, thought that this was just what my life was supposed to be like, which is like so upsetting. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's really upsetting to like think about that I didn't think that that's all I thought it was worth. That I thought this is just gonna be my life and I'll always be this people pleaser and like I'll just have to like live my life for other people and like this is just it. Like, and I was so miserable. No one ever deserves to feel like that. So like I just want to say that first of all, that if you're in a toxic relationship, a toxic friendship, or if someone's like gaslighting you into thinking that that's all you deserve, like you deserve so much more. So at this point, it is the end of my junior year and I've started to recover physically from my eating disorder. Still have not gotten help for my anxiety, but I did gain weight back. I did get my period back. So gaining weight was a really big mental battle for me, especially considering how much weight I had lost, but I knew I needed to do it in order to get healthier again. But I had to completely stop exercising, doing any form of sort of high intensity training. I could go on some walks, but that was about it. I had to stop tracking my food so that I wouldn't restrict. Had to make sure I was eating enough to gain weight. And my body just went through a lot of changes. My clothes didn't fit anymore. My body often felt bloated and uncomfortable. And it did take me a while to recover. I finally developed a healthier relationship with food and with exercise. I was no longer using restriction or over-exercising to cope with my anxiety. But unfortunately, that meant that I had developed other negative habits to deal with my anxiety. So it got to a point where I was going to class, doing my homework, and then just sitting in my room all day by myself. I had completely isolated myself. I told no one what had happened with my eating disorder or what I was feeling mentally. I was still dealing with that very toxic friendship in my life. And oftentimes, if I was having an intrusive or negative thought, I would just curl up in my bed and lay there unmoving, staring at the ceiling for hours. This is a really bad way to cope. So now begins the more positive part of my fitness journey, and this is where I meet my boyfriend, who's still my boyfriend today. We've been dating for almost 7 years. The reason why my boyfriend is an important part of this journey is because when I met him, I was in a really dark place. I felt so lonely. He immediately saw right through my walls. He saw me, and I felt like someone was seeing me for the first time. He treated me with so much kindness and respect. and showed me what true friendship and what a true relationship was like. That gave me the courage to eventually end the toxic friendship that I was in. It took me until after I had graduated college, but once I did, I felt like this weight had been lifted off my shoulder. I realized that I had let this person control my life for way too long and that I didn't need to live like that. It really gave me my confidence back. I took back control. I started to form healthier, more positive relationships in my life and just surround myself with people that cared about me and treated me with respect. But then I was left with sort of this gaping hole in my fitness journey. I was really struggling to find exercise that I truly loved to do. So my boyfriend actually introduced me to weight training. So weight training for me really started in 2017. We were out of town and we were in a hotel and they had a really nice gym. And my boyfriend was like, do you want to come work out with me? I'm gonna do like some weights. And I was like, I guess. And so he like showed me a couple moves, and I think we did upper body, because I remember we did tricep extensions, and the next day I could barely lift my arms above my head. But I remember after that training session just feeling so pumped. I felt so confident, I felt so sure of myself, and I just really felt like a badass. And I just remember being like, I want to do this again. My boyfriend and I joined a gym. We would go work out together and he would, continue to show me the moves. And I just really enjoyed every session. And it didn't feel like it was a punishment. It didn't feel like something I had to do. And that was when I realized that in order for fitness to be sustainable, it has to be something that you truly love to do. Not the new fad, not what everyone else is doing, not something that you just like make yourself do. It needs to be an activity that you actually enjoy doing and look forward to doing. After also a couple of months, I started to see the physical changes in my body. So I started seeing muscles on my arms, which I never had. And really for me, it wasn't about the muscle definition. It's about gaining confidence and gaining something back that I lost back in college. And that's what weight training did for me. I started getting pretty serious about training and, increasing weights, increasing muscles in 2018. And that's when I decided to buy the Sweat app by Kayla Itsines. And the program I started doing was Kelsey Wells' Power Program. Absolutely love that program. I highly recommend it also for someone that's just starting out with weightlifting. It is a fantastic program, and I did it a few times over just to like really get down the basics and foundations of lifting, and then started writing my own workout plans from there. And once I started seeing an increase in my confidence in the gym, I started to see confidence boosts in other areas of my life. So I stopped being such a people pleaser, which thank goodness. I stopped living my life for other people, started living life for me, started thinking about what do I really want to do, what do I really enjoy, and started having healthier friendships and relationships with other people, and really started speaking up for myself in all areas of my life in the workplace. So it really gave me the confidence to just work on myself. Once I went through this big physical transformation and saw the positive changes it had in my life, I then decided to seek help for my anxiety. I started seeing a therapist. I'm still in therapy today, and it's one of the best things that I've ever done. I'll also say that over the years, because of working with my therapist, have all these tools and resources now. I journal, I meditate, I get proper sleep, I eat adequately, I exercise, I move my body every day. I do all these little things throughout my day so that I can constantly make sure that my mental health is in check and being cared for. And then flash forward to today, where I now am a certified personal trainer. I have my own coaching business. So that is my fitness journey. It was a long journey. It took me a long time to get to this positive place, but I truly love the relationship that I have with myself, with my mind, with my body, with my soul, with food, with exercise, with my mental health. I'm in the best place that I could be, and I couldn't have gotten here if I had not gone through those struggles. I'm going to leave some resources linked below, but I also just want to say that just know you're not alone. If you struggle with any of the things that I talked about in this video, there are so many other people that go through these same experiences, and you are not alone. And also, it's okay to not be okay. It takes courage to speak up. It takes courage to ask for help. and it takes courage to go get help. So that's going to be it for today's video. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked hearing the story of my fitness journey, and subscribe for future fitness content, and leave a comment down below what kind of other videos you would like to see on my channel. Make sure to follow my Instagram. It's at laura.leefitness for everyday health and wellness content. And I will see you guys in the next one.